What is up, everybody? My name is Lex, and you are now watching Lex Reviewing Things. Today, we will be reviewing the Everlast MMA Pro Style Grappling Gloves. Now, I really had to sort of use these and try these out for myself for a few months because I was very up in the air on what rating to give these gloves. Now that I have sort of come to a final decision personally, we'll get right into this. And as always, we'll start with the bad news here. The bad news about the Everlast MMA Pro Style Grappling Gloves is that the sizing is actually pretty limited, and if you kind of fall in between a couple of the middle sizes like medium and large, these gloves might not be the way to go for you. So they actually advertise as small/medium, and the second size being large/extra large. And the true sizes are really closer to small, and the other one being extra large. So it's kind of limited. Bad news number 2. Even though these are pretty affordable, they are also cheaper in quality in general. So if you're just looking for budget gloves that may or may not fit, then you might be able to take a risk on these. But let's take a look at some of the good news. Good news number 1. If this happens to fit you, the gloves are actually very usable when it comes to grappling. So yeah, there's a lot of room for the fingers, and they're pretty mobile while using these gloves. And it actually has some pretty good padding as well, so the padding's not too bad, which I was actually pretty happy about that. And I'm not surprised because Everlast is more known for making like boxing equipment. So you get the Everlast type padding with these gloves. Good news number 2 is that once again, these are pretty affordable. They're cheap. Again, they're probably cheaper in quality because of that, but at the very least, they are budget gloves. And after a quick Google search at the time of this video, on average, these run about $25, depending on where you look. Now, what rating do I give these MMA Pro Style gloves? Drum roll, please. And this was a very hard decision to make because I was going up and down, but I ended up settling on a number of 7.2 out of 10. Now let me give you my reasons as to why I gave it a 7.2, and that way I'll show you some of my biases that I had. So when I originally purchased this product, I was actually not pleased at all. I was actually going to give this like a failing type of rating. But within the last week or so, I kind of just dealt with that it didn't fit perfectly, and once I got that out of my mind, the gloves weren't that bad. But I do have to say, the small/medium size, they're actually a super tight fit, even without hand wraps. So that's why this whole video, you've probably been wondering why I was wearing that. But yeah, so these are the small/medium. These are pretty good fit without hand wraps. But personally, I like to use hand wraps when I use any type of gloves, like boxing gloves or anything, and I'm just like training for cardio. But without hand wraps, these fit my hand pretty good. My fingers are pretty skinny, but I have really long fingers, so once again, the fingers are pretty mobile in general as far as like grappling and all that good stuff. And the padding's not bad. Now let me show you what it looks like when you have hand wraps on. These are just like some Everlast hand wraps. And so let's try these on for the small/medium size. So doesn't really close all the way. Not gonna lie, it's kind of a tight fit. It's hard. It's a little bit, yeah, it's a lot harder to make a clenched fist. I'll be honest with you guys. So yeah, I prefer using hand wraps, and with the small/medium size, it's harder to make a clenched fist. I mean, with grappling, you should be good. Doesn't really close all the way. Yeah, so this kind of like reaffirms my initial problems with it when I first got these. And I actually kind of had a nightmare process trying to get these gloves in general because, like I said, in general, I'm about 5'11.5" tall, about 180 pounds. My fingers are skinny, but they're long, so I have kind of big hands. So I originally purchased the large/extra large gloves thinking I was more on the large size as far as an MMA glove. But that was a mistake. These things are humongous. They're basically like the size of like my face. So this is what the glove looks like without hand wraps when it's the large/extra large size. And as you can see from here, there's all types of extra space there. Humongous glove. And my pinky's barely, you know, making it out of there. So when I'm wearing these hand wraps and I put on the large slash extra large glove, again, you kind of see the pinky. This is just humongous even with the hand wraps. So to be honest, I mean, now I'm kind of feeling like I probably should have stuck with some of my lower ratings, but if these do fit you, then I'm sure you're going to be more than happy with these, especially if you're more on a budget or you're looking for more of an affordable option. If you're naturally a size small, the small slash medium will work for you. And by the looks of it, if you are naturally an extra large, then the large slash extra large should work for you. Outside of that, be very careful when considering these gloves as your option. I personally wouldn't recommend it if you are naturally a medium or a large. But I must be a man of my word, and I'll continue to stay with that 7.2 out of 10. Because again, if they do fit, the grappling mobility in the fingers is really good, and the padding is like any type of padding you would get with an Everlast brand. It's pretty good. So there you have it. If you feel like these gloves were worse and maybe you had the same trouble with the sizing issue, let me know if you agree with my score, or if you think these gloves were actually better and they fit you perfectly. I want to know your experience. Go ahead and let me know any of your opinions down in the comments below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this video and YouTube channel. And thank you guys once again, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.